You've just tuned into That Really Swell Podcast. The voice of all things themed entertainment.
This week's episode is brought to you in part by the following.
The ET Adventure Fitness Cycle.
I'll be right here, behind you.
A true interactive bike system.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode number two hands. 10, episode 10 of That Really Swell Podcast. I'm Julie. I'm your host. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Alex, also known as Mr. Maker Mouse Triple M himself. Please don't do that. You don't know if that means something like to someone. Just don't.
Letter M.
Oh, no. It looks like gang symbols and we have no idea. Greet the people, Alex. Without
Hey, what's he doing? I'm a full-time gang member, but I watch Disney content. What is he doing throwing up our symbols?
You never know. You never know. How are you on this fine holiday? Well, by the time the people see it, it won't be a holiday anymore, but how are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Did you greet the people?
Did I what?
Did you greet the people? You haven't greeted the people.
Oh, hello, people. How are the people doing? Let me show you a new symbol I learned.
No! Okay. So we're in episode 10. If you're new, welcome. If you are a returning listener / watcher, welcome back. We've made it so far. And thank you guys so much for coming back. And if you're new, welcome. We hope you stick around.
And if you came back, like she was saying, why?
Don't ask why. Just go with it. Just go with it. We are happy you are here. So before we get into the show, in past shows, I've mentioned that if you leave us a comment or connect with us in some way in a future show, we will go over them. So I have a couple of comments that people have left for us.
Are they about me?
No.
Oh, well, then
Not every comment is going to be about you, but you should give them the same respect as the one comment that's about you, which I still speculate may have been you. But until we get to the bottom of that, here are the comments from recent shows. First comment is from Patrick Mullen. Norway is the best country at Epcot, and Maelstrom was one of the best rides. He goes on to say the best override. The best overall ride in Walt Disney World is the Carousel of Progress. Fun episode, he says. What do you think about that? Do you think Norway is the best country in Epcot?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, Patrick.
I
gotta go with Mexico. Yeah,
Mexico has the Tri Caballeros, which I really, really like. And that pavilion.
Yeah, the pavilion. I haven't even experienced the whole thing yet. I still have not sat down by the river to eat. I think as far as ride stuff and attraction, I'd go Mexico. But then I'd go Morocco because of the immersion.
Morocco is very nice. I like Morocco.
I love Morocco because you go in there and it feels like you're gone. Like you're in another place.
What's cool about Norway is the Kringla Bakery. On the top of the Kringla Bakery, they have it's actual grass that's on the rooftop grass that the cast members have to cut and maintain every so often. And I feel like that's really cool because they're trying to keep it as authentic as they can. And
that's
I thought,
amazing.
and Kringla Bakery is amazing. Such good stuff in there.
Do they put the grass in the bakeries? Like in the baked goods, they cut the grass out. And... This is original.
Oh my gosh! Please don't do that.
What?
They maintain the grass and they bake cookies that don't contain grass.
I don't know. I'm an ignorant person.
Norway is amazing. Yes, say it again for the people in the back. Thank you for watching, Patrick. This next comment is from Bizarre Bunny. Bizarre Bunny says, great video. I hope the show stays up for many years to come.
Oh, yeah.
Bizarre Bunny, you may have earned yourself a later bedtime. I mean, you know, if I was your mom,
later bedtime. Listen,
and you were a kid, I'm just speculating here. Bizarre Bunny.
Bizarre Bunny, your check is in the mail. It's coming. Nice
you
job.
will get your segment soon, Bizarre Bunny. if we had a guest called Bizarre Bunny. Anyway, thanks for watching, Bizarre Bunny. Next comment is from Israel Llanos. That sounds familiar.
Again.
Israel Llanos, yeah, is return watcher. Amazing. Israel Llanos says, bravo, 2 exclamation marks. Another excellent show, ending with 3 exclamation points for a total of 5 exclamation points on that one comment.
Plus the bravo. I think we should get a monocle because that sounds very, very
bravo. That Really Swell Podcast. You did quite amazing.
Cheerio, no?
Thank you, Israel, for watching. That wraps up our comments for this show. Thank you so much, everybody, for commenting. Your checks are in the mail. If you guys want to connect with us, we are on TikTok, of course, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Leave us a comment and we will go over them in later shows. So thank you guys so much for that. Okay. Are you ready to get into the show? We have a very interesting show today. Are you ready?
Do tell.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So our season was a then and now season, right? We can't possibly fit all of these amazing attractions in one short season. So we have today honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Bravo. We have honorable mentions today. So we're going to go over a few of our favorites, not so much favorites, but, you know, we're going to go over a bunch of attractions that didn't make the final cut. So that way they have their little 10 minutes within our small show. So this is going to be an exciting episode. So, shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Yes.
To appease Mr. Patrick Mullen and Alex, we're going to start in Epcot. We are going back to 1988. In Epcot, there was a ride.
It's a good year.
Called Maelstrom. Maelstrom. I have been on this ride.
Yeah. Nice. Congratulations.
Not very many Epcot rides from way back I been on. That's one. That's one of them. I have been on Maelstrom. All I remember is a boat. Vikings. Am I right?
And trolls.
You remember about trolls? Like the frozen trolls?
The frozen trolls.
Yeah, the trolls in Frozen. Like they're boulders.
Oh. Yeah,
you have to watch Frozen again.
Do
you remember the ride in more detail?
Like okay, so no, I don't. I do recall tidbits like you. So we've got the Viking boat. You got the troll. You got the voiceover thingy. But the one thing I remember the most is almost getting pushed off and dying in Epcot.
Who pushed you off?
The boat.
Oh, the boat almost pushed you off?
Yeah, the boat. You don't remember that part?
Where it like changes tracks and goes backwards?
Yes.
It still does that. And I think the boat is actually the same.
But it doesn't go outside like it used to.
Ah, okay.
So when you're up in the front,
yeah, I think I recall that.
You remember like the little fountain that they got up front of the Frozen ride? They have an opening. The boat used to come out all the way.
I vaguely remember that.
And you could hear people screaming and whatnot. But they closed it off now, so.
Wah, wah. Maelstrom lasted from 1988 to 2014, and Maelstrom was replaced by Frozen.
2014, huh?
Frozen. 2014, it seems very recent, right?
Yeah, that's not too long ago, huh?
So it was replaced by Frozen. So I'm sorry, Patrick. Maelstrom had to go.
You're going to have to let it go. Let it go.
Bravo.
Chip, chip.
Next, we're headed to MGM Studios. The studio backlot tour.
Oh, my goodness.
I loved this tour so much. Catastrophe Canyon. Do you remember Catastrophe Canyon? So this was a tour. At the time it was MGM Studios, and it was a very lengthy tour. I don't know, 20 minutes or something.
Oh no, it was more than that.
Longer?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was way long. They had a whole bunch of these cool things that, they're long gone now. They even had at one time they had one of the vehicles from, or two of them from Horizons. They stored them back there.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think that was like towards the end.
Did they have like this did they have like a stunt show? Not a stunt show in the beginning, but like something with water in the beginning?
Yeah, so you would watch they had a huge tank and they had a little boat on it. And they had the big giant tank, and they would pick somebody out of the audience. They'd put you in that yellow captain suit, waterproof. You'd get in the boat, they'd rock the boat, and then they'd dunk like 100 gallons of water on you.
Were you there when I got chosen? Were you there? They picked me. You know how whenever we do something, whenever we do anything, it terrifies me that I get chosen?
Yeah.
They picked me. Were you there that day?
I'm sure I was. Oh my gosh, I can't remember that.
They picked me, and I wore the yellow raincoat, but I didn't put the hood on. I did not consider the fact that I would be drenched after, and it was terrifying.
Oh my goodness, why didn't we have cell phones?
Yes, I was the chosen one day, and it was humiliating and wet.
See, this is really weird because I know for a fact that would have been the greatest day of my life. And
I'm surprised. Well, I have a feeling you were there. I think you were there.
I can't remember it.
Greatest day of your life.
To see you freak out.
But you were there when we were in. Were you there when we were in Universal and they chose me for the horror makeup show? Were you there for that?
Oh my goodness! I must have been. Why am I not remembering the greatest moments?
Everything that I have fear inside me whenever we go to these attractions, they must see it on my face because they chose me for that too.
I think I vaguely recall that one because I was pretty sure they didn't think you were American because you didn't speak. You just smiled.
Okay.
And that's usually what they do. They usually pick the non-English speaking person. I don't know.
The whole time I was just like, please don't pick me, and they picked me. The same thing with the backlot tour. Yes, I was one of the chosen ones, and I had how many gallons of water did you say were dumped?
Hundreds.
It was like a tsunami just dunked on me, and I had the pleasure of being soaked for the entire ride.
Bravo, man, because that's like one in a million. Not everybody gets a chance to do those moments in history. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, it was embarrassing. But anyway,
I'm still hoping to get punched in the Indiana Jones show one day.
Do they still do that when they brought it back?
Yeah.
Do you know? Oh, they still do.
I'm pretty sure they still do that. I hope they do. I'm just talking about
that would be. I wouldn't like it, but that would be cool to be on that set. You know they're not gonna punch you. Aren't they plants?
I want to be a plant. I know, but I still want to. I'll push the plant out of the way.
Yeah, that is a lawsuit waiting to
I won't sue them. I won't sue them. I just want to get
Sorry. Backlot tour. I liked going there because of Catastrophe Canyon. And if anybody remembers the advertisements for the Backlot tour, they would advertise Catastrophe Canyon. And you would think that was the draw. And you would think that is the only part of the ride. The ride was like really, really long and really informative. But the Catastrophe Canyon was the huge draw. It was kind of similar to Earthquake in Universal.
Yeah.
Because you have the ride vehicle and you're in a canyon and then stuff explodes, water, fire, everything. And then you're like, oh my gosh. And then, it's over. They put everything back.
Yeah.
But that, that was like, it was the draw, and rightfully so, because it was an amazing part of the ride. And I loved the ride. The Backlot tour lasted until we said 2014 and was replaced by what we know today as Toy Story Land. I really miss the Backlot tour, but I do like Toy Story Land, so kind of torn there. What? What's the matter?
Just holding back my opinion, that's all.
No, what would our show be if you didn't give your opinion? Please. I'll give you 2 minutes to give your opinion.
No, it's not that long. I just miss the days when Universal and MGM would focus on film and movies instead of just lands. That's all.
Yeah, I see that.
The behind the scenes stuff. We don't get that anymore.
You get like little tidbits of it.
Yeah.
Now, not as much as before, but... changing with the times.
Also,
what do people want?
Didn't you end up... Man, it's been a while. Didn't you end up getting off the tour? Yeah, you get off the tour, and then you get to pass by the animation studio. And you would be able to see them animating on cells, whatever the current movie was at the time.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I'm sure you will, because remember when we went once and we were passing by the animation, and then they were doing a character meet and greet, and Frozone was there. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the story, but you remember.
No, I know what you're talking. So, so that's where Star Wars Launch Bay is right now, right? So, the Backlot tour went really around the whole park.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Frozone.
Well, they used to literally go into the park because there was a time where they would drive, well, not a time, but they did drive down the streets of New York. They would show you New York and talk about how the sets get used. Mm-hmm. And the Ninja Turtles would show up sometimes, or
Ninja Turtles.
When Dick Tracy was out, you would see a little Dick Tracy show.
People don't know about that now.
That's good stuff.
Like who?
Yeah. Those are great times. I mean, they really interacted with the guests a lot.
Yeah, it was an amazing ride. I mean, again, I love Toy Story Land. I love everything about Toy Story Land. I think they did a wonderful job, but the Backlot tour was like one of my favorites in MGM at the time.
Yeah.
So, Backlot tour, we salute you. Okay, so now we're headed over to Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, Florida.
Where Doc Brown is still looking for a home. Universal Studios, Florida, and we are going to one of my favorite shows at the time, Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review. I loved that show. Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review. It was just a stage show, kind of like a musical type with Beetlejuice. Why are you laughing?
Just the jokes. I remember the jokes. Like, my favorite was always, all right, hey, I need to find a beautiful lady. Then he'd walk up to a lady and go, hey, how you doing? Help me find a beautiful lady.
Beetlejuice is terrible. He still walks around there. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Just like Doc Brown. He just walks around with no home. But it was a fun show. It was kind of like a a musical show. It had Wolfman. Was it Frankenstein was in there?
So Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. And then later on, they added Tick and Tock.
Tick and Tock?
Yeah, those were Beetlejuice's cheerleaders.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it was a fun show. Hold on. It was a fun show. I love Beetlejuice. I still do. I'm sad that it's not there anymore because they took it down to put up Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Look, it's no secret that ride sucks. Everybody knows it. Everybody says it. And if I heard correctly from insiders, even Universal knows it.
They also removed Earthquake to put up Fast and Furious Supercharged. So Fast and Furious Supercharged takes up the space of what used to be Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review, and also Earthquake, and Disaster, and after Disaster, Fast and Furious, that whole area. Fast and Furious Supercharged, I don't know. I'll go on it to see The Rock.
It's not even worth that. I go on it.
Is it though?
I go on it to laugh myself silly because it's so embarrassing.
I like the music. It gets you pumped. But yeah, for the attractions that they removed to put it in, yeah, it's not that. I don't think is worth it. That's my opinion. But you know, I'd rather have Beetlejuice all day long than have a Fast and Furious attraction. Bring back Beetlejuice. Bring back Earthquake. Not Disaster. Earthquake.
And you're all family now.
That was terrible. Okay, we'll go right next door to Amityville. Or it used to be next door. Parts of it still is. We're going to visit Jaws. Jaws was there when Universal first opened. I love that ride. I loved the queue. I loved everything about it.
Really? I thought it was cheesy.
Yes. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah,
like, especially the queue video. It was so dumb. But it just got you like in the mood. And then when I was a kid, they had a little like ice cream shop right next to the entrance of the Jaws queue. And we would go in there and get ice cream like right before. And it was just like really, it was just a tradition we would do every single time. And then the Jaws queue had a video. What was it? A radio station? I think, or was it a channel?
It was like something... it was the Amityville channel or news station, something like that. And didn't they have on the videos like a Jaws puppet that would pop up from time to time? So.
It was just so corny, but it was cool at the same time. Like, I love that ride.
I don't think I ever really saw the Q video because every time I go to Jaws, it wasn't really full. So
really, not me.
You just go on through.
Yeah, no.
I never understood why. I just never understood why people were yelling or screaming in the ride. Because Bruce was not intimidating at all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was fake audio.
That's what I was thinking sometimes.
Do you think?
I was thinking maybe
like
because
maybe
really,
they pumped audio in there.
You can't get scared of.
And then it would slowly go back in the water.
While it was shaking.
It was, yeah. My favorite part of the ride was when you would go into this. What was it? It was like a.
It was a.
Okay, it was an air. They would close the doors behind you, and it was super dark inside.
It's a.
Like a boathouse.
Boathouse. I was gonna say like a boathouse exactly. We don't know boat words.
Yeah, we're not nautical people.
But yeah, they
house for boats.
You go in one end, they close the doors behind you. It's pitch black in there, and then the driver would have a lamp shining through, which made no sense. Why are we in here? Why are we in here?
Right, yeah.
And if the threat is in the water, why are you pointing at the walls? Put the light in the water. What are you doing, man? You're going to get us all killed.
That was one of my favorite parts. Like, the doors would close behind you, so you're inside the actual boathouse, I guess is what we're calling it. And then, like, we don't know what's gonna happen. For some reason, we're just inside this boathouse, and then, like, next thing you know, like, the part of the wall breaks. Like, Bruce broke his way in there, and then you have to hurry up and get out. Why you're in there in the first place, we don't know, but that was my favorite because you're not out in the open anymore. You're in an actual house and it's dark and there's water all around you, and it was pretty cool. That ride, it was very simple. Bruce, the shark, for those who don't know, we keep saying Bruce is the shark, was not intimidating at all. No. But the boathouse was cool. The explosions were cool. The fire, all of that, I really loved.
That was like,
the effects, the special effects were amazing.
A lot of practical fires, impressive.
Yeah, that was cool.
Listen, to all of you who ever worked that ride and you put your all into it, bravo to you. To all of you who just were getting a paycheck, boo, boo. Because some people really gave it their all, like you were. Oh, yeah. They were really great at projecting fear. It was really fun.
It's hit or miss, just like the in the Jungle Cruise. Right. You know, like, you never know, like, how much energy your jungle skipper is going to put into your ride. Oh, Same thing with the team member and the Jaws attraction.
I judged them by saying the backside of water. And here now we have the backside of water. Great job, Jimmy. Great job. You're doing great. Bravo.
But so Jaws, another one I absolutely loved, was replaced by Diagon Alley. All you Harry Potter fans, they took Jaws out to put Diagon Alley there. But if you go into, I'm trying to go off memory here. I want to say Shea Alcatraz.
Right next to it.
Yeah, they still have Bruce. They have the shark from Jaws right there hanging, still right there. So for you to see to this day. So, you know, they kept that at least. I have somewhere, and you know, my mom probably has it, is a picture of like an 8-year-old and Julie right next to Bruce, or with her head inside the shark, like, you know, because with a fanny pack.
Fanny packs.
Fanny pack. And there's also pictures of me at Nickelodeon Studios on the same day. So yeah. Oh, Nickelodeon Studios, that didn't make the cut. Anyway, so then we're going over to another one of my favorites, Confrontation.
Yes.
Going back to the front of the park.
I loved Confrontation.
I loved it so much. Another queue that was amazing. Yeah. Like, I did not mind waiting in line for that one.
The brilliance of that queue. You're in New York. You're walking through kind of the, not subway, but you're kind of walking through a transportation queue. So on your way up to a Sky Tram. And they've graffitied everything. But what's brilliant about it is, and I know they know this, that people would continue to add graffiti to it. So, like, they would do Universal's job by making it look gritty and nasty. So people would go in and just write their names on the wall. And like, this is pretty smart.
There were plenty additions to there. Lots of gum all over the place.
And it just worked.
Top notch.
It's like, Universal's brilliant. This is almost like real gum.
They didn't have to clean it up.
Gum.
Confrontation was amazing. It was a transportation, a sky tram of sorts, and you would go through the city of New York, and then Kong would be there. And my favorite would be seeing all the buildings, because a lot of the buildings had the windows, you could see through the windows, and you know, the apartments were lighted on the inside, so like it looked so real at the time, and it was just such an amazing, attraction.
The other thing is, like, you know, I guess people are so used to rides being or feeling secure. this tram, when you're in the queue, it's not just a ground level queue. You're walking up this queue.
Yeah.
A couple of stories up. Your ride is off the ground about 50 feet.
Oh, yeah.
You're really high up there in this big, giant, swinging tram vehicle, which added to the sensation that I could die at any moment. This is great.
Oh, yeah. And there was one point of the ride where Kong himself would try to take hold of the tram and shake it. Yeah. So like your tram, you're all these, so high off the ground, and then your tram is shaking. Yeah. You're like, yeah, this is amazing.
I think he was the biggest animatronic at the time at a theme park, and he literally would put his hands in front and in back of your tram.
It was so cool.
Full size Kong, and start shaking you. And then he'd drop you.
Couldn't you feel like hot breath? Yeah, he would drop you and
your
pick you
tram
up and you could feel his breath.
Would drop.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. It was so cool. That ride was amazing. Unfortunately, they replaced it for Revenge of the Mummy. So Revenge of the Mummy is now in its place.
I gotta say that's a downgrade. As far as everything that you could get out of a ride, that one was just a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's not really like this. I get everything has a story, but it's just a roller coaster. I mean, I love Speed. I like the Mummy franchise. I do, but I would much prefer Kong and everything that went into it. For them to replace it with.
And this time, I'll say I'm not saying it because of it's just a roller coaster. But literally, it's a downgrade of a ride that had so many levels to it, and then you go from that to just the roller coaster.
Right. So then staying in the New York area, another one of my favorites was the Ghostbusters show. Do you remember Ghostbusters? Oh, yeah. That show was so cool. I loved that show. They replaced, it was a stage show. And they used to have like outside performances too, by the backdrop of the library, the New York Library. Yeah. But it was a stage show, indoors, very big stage, massive. And then they replaced that with Twister. So that's where Twister was for a while, and which was replaced again by Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, which is still there to this day.
So the Ghostbusters one, they had the Pepper's Ghost illusion there. So you were in this ginormous, like you said, is a ginormous soundstage. And I think the premise was that they were going to cast people for a new Ghostbusters film. So they had the set there, but then everything turned real. So the gatekeeper showed up, and the what's-her-face showed up from the original movie.
Keymaster, gatekeeper, yeah.
So you're on this. Cool. You're on the floor level. The stage is above you, and it's the gate from the first movie. You're basically the set looks like you're on top of the.
It's awesome.
The building, but they had the Pepper's Ghost effect where your view was covered completely, entirely by a big giant glass pane, which then they could reflect animatronics from down below. You never saw them, but they would reflect them on the glass, and they looked like floating ghosts. It was brilliant the way they executed that.
Is that kind of like what they use in Haunted Mansion?
Same thing.
Like
they use
ballroom scene and stuff.
Ballroom scene in Haunted Mansion. Yeah, same thing. Pepper's Ghost.
It was cool. That I loved that attraction. Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon. It's fun. It's a good time. But again,
it's not even Twister. It's not even Twister.
It's not even Twister. And I liked Twister too. Yeah. Like, Twister was amazing.
Twister had an indoor Twister? I mean, are you kidding me?
Oh. Well, even before that, like, okay, so you had the pre-show. And then after the pre-show, you would go into one of the houses that were already hit by the Twister. Yeah. And that was part of the queue.
The queue, yeah.
Which was so cool because you're walking inside the house and you hear like wind chimes and like you hear stuff and it's like thunder and it was just amazing. But yeah, Jimmy Fallon's kind of cool.
The house was completely destroyed. Just completely. Yeah. Everything was upside down.
And you got to walk through it, and you got to walk through that and then experience the Twister yourself. That was so cool. I like that also. But see, again, they're taking down all these like really immersive, elaborately planned like stuff. Even the cues were amazing. Just to replace it with, okay, it's cool going through, what is it, NBC Studios?
See, I appreciate
that's kind of nice.
I appreciate that.
That's nice,
But I always think, like,
it's not the same.
Put it in a different location. It's worth creating and keeping, but not to replace, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they have the space for it, especially maybe not Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters, it was a huge stage and a lot went into it, but I'm sure they have the space to create Twister, or even like, to put Jimmy Fallon somewhere else if they wanted to keep Twister. You know what I'm saying? But Twister was amazing.
Now here's a little wink wink. I worked at Universal in the back lot for like 6 years, and I was there prior for some other time. The front end is Jimmy Fallon, but in the back lot, there's this big giant garage door where they would load stuff in through. It still says Twister, write it out on the back.
Oh, really? Yeah. Aw, tear. I miss Twister. I miss Ghostbusters. And again, Jimmy Fallon's cool, but the attractions today are not what they used to be for the most part. Some of them are really, really good.
Some of them have gone above and beyond. So,
but these, you're getting rid of classics and nostalgia, and so much work was put into these old attractions, and then she's got to.
And of course, things have to move on, but
yeah, but we still miss it. And then we also have now we're leaving the Universal property and going to International Drive, where Wet n Wild used to be. Wet n Wild was a water park in that area, and it was a huge water park at its time.
It was the water park.
Yeah, it was where everybody wanted to go, right down the street from Universal. Wet n Wild, but now not even in the same location, but the water park in the area to go to is Universal's own Volcano Bay. So, instead of Wet n Wild, now, the water park for that particular area is Volcano Bay, which I have not been to Volcano Bay, so I can't speak on it. I have been to Wet n Wild a couple times. It was okay, but I'm assuming from what I've seen on video that Volcano Bay is an upgrade to what Wet n Wild used to be. Not just with rides and stuff, but even like the technology that they use.
Right.
So that's an upgrade. It's part of the Universal parks. Wet n Wild was separate. It was just a water park on International Drive.
I'm really hoping Universal just continues to take over that whole International Drive area.
And just keep building out and just keep buying the property for that area.
That area needed Universal's upgrade. It was it's getting very dilapidated around there.
Yeah. So. There's a lot of like old shops and stuff. Like it could really use some so
I was really happy that they brought in the hotels, the Endless Summer Hotel and the water park, and now of course Epic Universe around the corner.
Oh yeah, so that was a good upgrade. I mean, I to speak more on it, I would have to go, but I've seen a lot of video and read reviews and stuff like that, and Volcano Bay is doing very well and is quite the upgrade from Wet n Wild. So yeah, that was one that I would say was a good change.
Absolutely.
Having not been there, but from what I see, it's a change for the positive, so that's good. Okay. And staying in Universal, we have Terminator 2.
Ah, yes!
Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time.
Terminator 2 3D is fantastic. You have to go see it.
Got it out of your system?
Not even close. There's so much more.
Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time. That was amazing.
Epic.
Every time we would go in that pre-show, okay, so you know how you have those annoying people that go in the Haunted Mansion and recite the whole thing? That, I was able to do that in Terminator 2 3D because the pre-show was so cool. The pre-show alone was just like amazing. And then you got in, you went into this giant like theater, screens all around you, and it was like, did the chairs did they have effects? Like, did the chairs move at all? Like up and down sort of thing?
They would shake, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This one, it was really, really
that
cool.
was epic.
Oh man.
Man, I know I'm sounding nostalgic, but I'm telling you, it's the pinnacle of storytelling in a ride, because they slowly set you up while you're walking through the queue. The idea of you're at Cyberdyne. And they're telling you all these new technologies that Cyberdyne is doing, how great they are. And then it gets worse and worse and worse until it gets really bad.
Like brainwashing you. Yeah. Yeah.
The pre-show you're talking about.
The storytelling was amazing.
You had the host come out, and she was just so annoyingly annoying. Super. Okay, everybody. Everybody want to be quiet now? Yeah. I can wait. She would control the crowd. A really good cast member, not cast member. What do they call it? Team member. They really knew how to control the crowd and get them to shut up. Like, treat them like garbage, and people would love it.
She was so annoying.
She was a representative for Cyberdyne, but she
got hers later.
Yeah, but she gets hers later. And then the video that they would show while you're waiting there, you're seeing the glories of Cyberdyne and new technologies they have, and then suddenly static. And it's John and Sarah Connor telling you, you need to get out of here. We're going to blow this place up. Cyberdyne has to be stopped. They're a menace.
Period.
And then then the video static sound, it goes back to the promo of Cyberdyne, and we're like, whatever, let's go in.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, it was an ominous warning. They're going to blow it. Come on, it's not going to happen.
Oh, man. It was such an amazing attraction. And that was a lengthy one, too. Was that a lot? Wasn't that show one of the ones that were like about 20 minutes long?
Oh, yeah.
I remember it was a long one, too, but it was so good.
When you get into the theater, you pick your seat. What was great about it, if you've never been on it, I'm so sorry. You're in a theater. You've got massive, massive screens in front of you. And it's an action show. You get the Terminator. You get John Connor. You get Sarah Connor. You get the T-1000. They all physically show up. And they're running around the theater. They're running through the people. They're shooting live guns. You know, they're blanks, but, you know, you hear the boom of the guns. You smell the gun smoke. Yeah. They bring in an actual Harley Davidson onto the stage. Arnold is driving it. He picks up John Connor to save him from the T-1000. And what do? They drive into the movie.
That was awesome.
They drive into the movie screen, and then you were watching the 3D movie.
It was
brilliant.
Cool. And didn't they have multiple Terminators there?
Yeah,
right?
They had
if I'm remembering it correctly.
The T-600, I want to say. There was a T-600. They had 3 on either side that would come out, and they would start shooting target practice and all that, because they were demonstrating how Cyberdyne has just made these awesome new robots. But,
so the presentation, I'm sorry, I'll just say this real quick. So the presentation, it's kind of, if you guys have seen Iron Man, where they, I don't remember if it's the first Iron Man or the second Iron Man, but they do a presentation for all of the Iron Man suits. And they have all these suits on stage, and then they're all, controlled. So that's kind of what it reminded me of, the same type of setup in the Terminator. So they had all of these, Terminator, robots on stage, and they're, hey, they can do this and they can do that. Kind of like the same setup. That's what it reminded me of.
You had 6 robots shooting at targets that would come down from the ceiling. Full blast. Like, if you were sitting next to them, it hurt a little bit because it was so loud. It felt like it was real. What was a great little detail is that the targets, when they would come down from the ceiling and they would shoot at them, they would actually make holes in them. Not that they were making actual holes, but the effect of holes, see-through holes, and then those little paper bits would fall on the ground.
It was so cool. Again, all the little details just add up, and it just makes for such an amazing experience.
I got a question for you.
For me?
How many stage theater type attractions at theme parks have you been to where once it's done, people give it either a standing ovation or they just clap for like a whole full minute? Because that's what they would do in T2.
Yeah, not an actual like just stage show, like rides. Yes, but I don't recall it just a stage show having that effect on people.
People loved that ride or that attraction. It was incredible.
It was really, really good. In 2020, the Bourne Stuntacular took its place. Have you been on that?
Haven't been on it, but I've seen a lot of it.
I know nothing, so I would need your input on this. I don't know.
Okay, so basically same theater, same setup, big giant stage. Now that stage area that was there in the front that had steps and they had the little podium for T2, all that's gone, but it's now just a big flat stage where they do fight sequences and stunts and all that. But this one, I'm not going to call it an upgrade story-wise, but I am going to call it an upgrade technology-wise. Very impressive. Very impressive. So, you know Bourne, you know the Bourne franchise, you know he's all about jumping from here to there, fighting, punching, all this crazy stuff. So, the screen all the way through, seamless, huge, from one side to the other. And they're projecting what feels like the real world in front of you. So, it's like a one-to-one. If a person's on stage, then they have a building projected on there that's the appropriate size. So, there's one sequence where he is up on like a balcony, but the balcony and the building portion of the balcony are actually on stage. They actually bring in the real physical giant structure that he can climb up on, and then the background matches it. So then while he's moving around the building, and the building starts rotating, and as the building rotates, the projection behind it rotates with it. So it's all completely seamless every single time. There's another sequence where there's two cars, kind of like the motorcycle that would show up, but these two cars show up from the floor. They raise up two full-size vehicles, and he's fighting with somebody, having a gunfight, and jumping from one car to the other. And while the cars are moving very seamlessly, smoothly across the stage, the projection, again, is showing the road and all the hills and the valleys that they're driving through. So it all feels like you're there. So they've integrated the practical, physical with the 3D effects. It's pretty impressive.
Wow. That's crazy. That will be something that I try to go on next time we go to Universal. Because, again, it came out in 2020. Which is the worst possible time for anything brand new to come out.
When they were doing the stunt show, because they had multiple stunt performers on stage, they were doing the show with a mask on.
It's like, not the same. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's not, it kind of loses something. But yeah, that's one that I will definitely need to visit next time I go back. So again, those are our honorary mentions, and there are so many more that we didn't even get to touch on and discuss, but we will go ahead and just still mention them in the show.
In this list that's right here are these other practical.
Here is a list of the honorary mentions that didn't make it in the season or on this show, but we still thought needed their moment. All right. So now is the part of the show.
Ah! I forget every time. It's like
my favorite part of the show.
It's like I'm a goldfish.
I have trivia.
Yes, trivia. Hooray!
Trivia. Woo! All right, Alex, are you ready for your very first trivia question?
I am not.
All right, here it goes. How many lands are there in Magic Kingdom?
Lands in Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, talk them out. Talk them out. Say them. Say them when you get them. Say them when you get them.
There's Pumpkin Land.
No, come on. You're not even trying.
No, I'm not. Fantasy, adventure, tomorrow, double adventure.
I was rooting for you.
There's the spoke, hub and spoke, in the middle.
What?
The hub and spoke.
Hub and spoke?
Yeah, that's what you call the way the Magic Kingdom's laid out, hub and spoke. Like a wheel.
Hub? Castle hub? Is that what you're trying to say?
You don't know the words hub and spoke, never mind. Adventure. Wow, why am I not remembering this? So I know it's adventure, fantasy. Oh, Frontier, that was one. Tomorrow. And
you're missing two.
I said fantasy, right?
Yes.
Wow, no, I can't picture them. I know okay, let me see. No. I think because I abuse Adventureland so much, I just go on adventure and repeat.
Let me know when you give up.
Holy cow. This is really weird for me. I just can't picture the other two.
Right when you walk in. Right when you walk into Magic Kingdom.
Oh, wait, that's not a land.
Yes, it's considered a land.
That's considered a land?
Yeah. Oh, well, if you look at the maps, it's all like they have all the lands, and that's.
Well, I've only named things with land on it, so you're gonna have to tell me.
Okay, so Main Street, USA.
Which I wouldn't consider a land, so.
Okay, whatever. And Liberty Square.
Yeah, see, they don't have land on it.
They don't have land on it.
There's no way I would have remembered that.
They
have to say land. They have to say land.
6.
Main Street Land, USA. Liberty Square Land.
4 out of 6. Not bad. All right, let's see if you do better than this one. We're headed over to Universal. Okay. How many rides are on Universal Orlando's Islands of Adventure Marvel Superhero Island?
No way, dude. No way.
How many rides are in there? Come on. We've been going to this park since it first opened. You gotta know.
Yeah, but my love is the original. So there's Storm, there's Doom, there's Spider-Man.
Come on. Staring you right in
Hulk.
the face.
Hulk. So that's,
there you go. That's it.
That's 4.
That's it.
4?
That's it. 4.
The
Hulk. Storm Force Accelatron. Universal's Islands of Adventure's version of the teacups.
Yep.
Dr. Doom's Fear Fall. I can't.
I love it.
I can't. I'm already like breathing hard. It freaks me out every time.
That's like Tower of Terror without the walls.
Yeah, but I just can't. But at least Tower of Terror, like you're going forward, and I don't like Tower of Terror either because of the free fall part. But at least like it's mixed in with everything else in the ride. Dr. Doom is just like up and down. Oh my god! I can't believe I even went on that multiple times.
That's awesome.
And the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. So yes, this one you got 100%. That one is correct. Last one, last but not least. And I know you know this one.
Uh-oh.
I know for a fact You know this one.
Pressure.
We're still in Universal Studios. According to the Twister Ride It Out pre-show video, an F5 tornado is also known as what?
The finger of God.
You know this? Yes!
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
You were the best of the best.
Paxton, yes. May you rest in peace. But we had quite the laugh with that pre-show video, and it's time. I had to include that in the trivia.
Hey, give Mike a mic. That's a shout out to you. Finger of gut.
Aw. Yes. The finger of God. Oh man, what a great ride. Okay, so that's our trivia. You did amazing. You got a B- on that. So close to an A.
I would have kept a D. I'd been cool with a D.
No, B-, not D, B.
I know, but I would have been okay either way. That's how I got through school.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Remember, kids, when it's too hard, give up.
No, do not give up. Oh, remember, kids, just don't listen to anything Alex says ever.
Ever. Don't listen.
Our email for the podcast is thatreallyswellpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any concerns, comments, anything about Alex, you can find us and email us at that email. So that was our show today. It was fun. I mean, I wish we could really have done a show on each of these attractions.
It would take hours.
All right, so we want to hear from you. Again, you can contact us at any of our socials that I mentioned earlier, but I'll mention it again. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, here on YouTube. Comment down below. And also, we are on Spotify.
What?
We're Spotify.
What?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and I feel like I'm missing one. No, just those three, and YouTube. So if you get tired of seeing our faces,
I do.
I don't know why. I get tired of seeing your face.
Okay.
Were you saying you were tired of seeing my face? Because I just did that.
I just meant my own face, but okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take it back.
So now there's two people who are tired of my face, and I'm one of them.
If you get tired of seeing our face, you can listen to us. But then again, if you're listening to us on any of those streaming that I just mentioned, if you hear something weird or funny, we do a lot of gags in our videos. So when you get the chance, you might want to check us out on YouTube, and then it'll all come together, wrapped in a nice little bow, and it'll make sense. So if you had fun, I had fun, please do all the things that YouTubers ask you to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash the like button. Smash it. They say smash, right?
Smash.
Smash that like button.
Bop.
Make that notification bell and the subscribe button turn gray. Red is bad. Gray is good. What else do they say?
I don't know what you're talking about anymore, but okay.
If you agree with Alex, hit the like button. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to channel a YouTuber right now, so.
It's not working.
Okay. I wasn't meant for this. So yeah, like, subscribe, do all the things you guys know what
Press
to do.
the buttons.
By doing so, it helps us grow, and you get to see more of these smiling faces. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. We're so happy that you're here and that you stick around with our shenanigans. Remember, whatever you do. No, not this week. No. Whatever you do, do it swell.
No, stop saying shenanigans.
Why?
It's such a silly word. Shenanigans?
Bravo. Alex.
What? What is happening? You have lost it for sure.